hello. We're sitting outside. We have found a lovely little coffee shop. Now, there is a number of coffee shops in Primrose Hill, all of which are, delectable looking cafes. If you've not been to Primrose Hill or you haven't seen the video on our main channel, London Visited, about Primrose Hill, it's a beautiful area of London to go to, tucked away behind Chalk Farm and Camden Town. But I was up here filming for that channel today, and I thought, do you know what? I haven't been to Primrose Hill to come and try our coffee. Then I've also realised as I sat down, this is the first coffee tasting I've done in 2026. So happy new coffee to you. Hope you're good. If you're a new watcher and a new subscriber to the channel, it's amazing to have you here. Can't believe how the channel is growing, and that is thanks to you. So in your direction, I cheers a coffee to you. Not that I've had any yet, so as normal, if you're a regular watcher of the channel, haven't tasted it. I have smelt it though, because oh my god, did you see the picture at the beginning of that lovely film sitting on top of the coffee? It looked absolutely amazing, and all I can say is the smell of the coffee is absolutely, well, it's incredible. That's all I can say. So I'm just hoping that the coffee lives up to it. Now, let's just give you a quick overview why we do this. And how about that? That was just my thoughts entirely about the main coffee places, etc. We go and we do independent coffee cafes and roasteries, etc. So if you're coming to London, you haven't got to go searching out the good coffee. We've done that for you. So that's why we do what we do. So you won't find us in Starbucks and other places like that. We're here for the independent coffee places, shouting out for them for the fantastic job they do in producing a great coffee, but also making life easier for you if you're coming to London. Also showing you little bits of London as well on the channel that if you used to be here, maybe you remember from years gone by. So there you go. That is our mission. That's why we're here. And happy 2026. Well, probably February 2026 when this has come out, but this is the first one that we filmed. So, shall we go for it? Now, the reason I've been talking for a little bit is because I took the top off the coffee and discovered that amazing covering to it, which is absolutely incredible. But also, I've realised it's a very, very hot coffee as well. So it's one of those I've got to let cool down a bit. Now, I'm sitting outside because inside, as you can see from the beginning, it's literally just the counter. So if you want to come here and you want to come here for a coffee, as you can see, we're sitting underneath the canopy, which is lovely. So if you're coming here and it's raining, you can sit under the canopy. There's a few tables, so definitely come down and sit here. Now, what's really interesting about Primrose Hill itself is lots and lots of little coffees and cafes, etc. you can come to. And this is probably the last one that you'll come to if you're coming through and down from Primrose Hill itself and on your way to Chalk Farm. But the first one you'll come to if you're coming from Chalk Farm. And it's as you come over the bridge, it's on the on the right hand side, tucked away, so you've really got to look out for it. So hopefully the coffee is worth it, and then we can recommend this place on our list of amazing places to go for a coffee. Now, just as a reminder, we score the coffee out of 25. We've got 5 sections, each are out of 5, to give you an idea on that. All right. So each one is out of 5, and then that gives you an idea of what the coffee is, and we'll give you a total out of 25. If it's 20 and above, it's a really, really good coffee, and I can't recommend that highly enough. A 15 to a 19 is okay, still a good coffee, but it's okay. Under a 15 to a 10, it's a mad coffee. And if it's a really low number, and we've had some 3s, and I'm just trying to remember, where did we go 3s? We had a 3 at Westfield, and we also had a 3 in Selfridges as well, which was appalling coffee. In fact, if I put boiled socks in it, it would have tasted better. And we gave it 3 marks because basically it was hot. Well, hot-ish. So anyway, so that's what we're looking at. Right. I've realised we're 4 minutes in, we haven't done a coffee tasting yet. So let's go for the smell and go for the aroma first of all. And I cannot tell you how sensational the aroma is. So I'm going to give the aroma, without doubt, before I start describing it, a 5. When you took the lid off, it was absolutely incredible. Now, I would describe this as a sort of a dark wood, and then all of a sudden, as the coffee lid's been off and the smell's been coming out, it's been sort of wafting over, and the smell really gets into your nose, and it's just one of those coffee smells where you can almost smell it being roasted. You know that coffee smell when you go past a roasting place, and the smell is down the street. I certainly remember that from my childhood, and places like All Press and various other places where you can really smell that coffee being roasted. That is the smell you get from this, which is quite incredible. So we're going to kick that off without a doubt with a 5. So a really, really wonderful smell on that. Okay, next comes the acidity, which is out of 5, and the sweetness, which is out of 5. So I'm really looking forward to see if the aroma then plays host to the taste that we've got. Oh my word. Oh, sorry, I've got... This is why I like to put the camera on and you get the live tasting for the first time, because then you really get a true feel for it. That is sensational. Now, let's go for the acidity, and we'll talk about the acidity first. Now, the acidity itself coats on the tongue, it sits there, but it sits there really, really mild. So it's a lovely acidic taste, or a lovely bit of acidity on there. It sort of stays on the tongue, and it just sort of keeps going. And I've got it now, but it's not one of those overpowering and it like assaults your tongue. It just sits there like a lovely cosy blanket over your tongue. It is sensational. That's why when I had it first time and I couldn't actually speak and I had to go for it again, remarkable. Let's just do it again. It's like, oh. The reason I've gone for that is I've got a bit of the sweetness as well on my tongue, on my lips. Right, acidity, without doubt, that's a 5. I'm going to go for the sweetness as well, because that really knocked me for 6. I'm going to go back in a minute and find out what the blend is, and if I can remember, we'll put it on here, because that is sensational. The sweetness, again, licking your lips, and you get that sweetness from the coffee, and that's a perfect 5. When was the last time we had 5s? I know where. H.R. Higgins and the Harrods Coffee Bar. That's where we've had 5s before, like this, but this is incredible. So, oh, wow. I'm so glad I walked past those other cafes that were almost inviting. That is... yeah. Now, the next bit we're going to do is the body. So let's go for the body on that one. And what I'm going to do is film that on my other camera, so then we can put that in there, right? So you've got an idea and the guidance on that one. So far we're on 15 out of 15. Right, let's go for that. And, oops, and now we're going to go for the body. Now, so what I'm going to do first, drink a bit more so we've got a bit more space. Delicious. Right, that's better. No, let's give us some space there. Right. Now, can you see the body? It's clinging. Absolutely clinging to it. It really is. It's absolutely sensational. Now, interestingly enough, I've had thicker bodies before where it's held onto the cup a little bit more there. Let's go out there a bit more. There you go. Then you've got it. Yeah, that is pretty sensational. I think for the body, I'm going to have to go, because I've had slightly better bodies. I'm going to have to go for 4 on that one, because I've definitely had bodies that have held on more. There is the body there, and there is the lightness of the coffee, but it's sensational. So 4, that's 4 out of 5 on that. And the finish, there can be no doubt. Now, if it wasn't freezing and I had all day to kill, I would be drinking coffee by the gallon. In fact, I'm going to go in and see him in a minute, because, well, there's no doubt about it, the finish of it is a 5. It's that sensational. So that gives us a 24. We have another 24, ladies and gentlemen, another place that you've got to come and visit. In fact, I would say so much that if you're coming to Camden Market, which is probably about a 5 to 10 minute walk away from here, it is worth coming around to Primrose Hill, not just to see Primrose Hill, come and climb and come and see the sights of London all for free, but I would also make sure that you come here because absolutely amazing. I can't recommend this enough. Now, just as a reminder, this is called the Little One Coffee Shop, okay? It's the Little One Coffee Shop on Primrose Hill on Regent's Park Road. And it's flipping sensational. We now have 3 vying for the best coffees that I've tasted in London. So much so that I might actually have to go back in and buy a bag because it is that good. Incredible. Yep. So you can buy coffee here, and they do the beans that they do. So I'm going to go in and get that in a minute because that is just ridiculously brilliant. Which reminds me, the other day I was looking back through all the coffee ones that I've been, because I keep the scores on the spreadsheet. And one that we haven't been back to is Marcus Coffee. So we will do that again very soon. In fact, we're going to do that in the next month. Go back to Marcus Coffee over near the Edgware Road and score that, because that was a pretty sensational coffee. I remember that. It was almost like this one being knocked out, but it was before we did the scoring. So for the first sort of half a dozen videos, we didn't do the scoring on it, and then realised actually how we're going to have a consistency of measure. So we're going to go from a 24 here, and we'll see if Marcus Coffee is also the same. So from us here, I'm going to leave you with Marcus Coffee up in the top right hand corner, because that's another sensational coffee here in London. Thanks so much for watching. If you fancy supporting the channel, you'll see there's a QR code. You can buy us a coffee, literally buy us a coffee. And from a very delighted coffee drinker here in London, from the Little One Coffee, I wish you thanks so much for watching. Catch you soon. Take care. Bye.